So we are now one day away from the match between Barcelona and Inter Milan, and I'm very excited because I know that Barcelona can do amazing things in this game. And so as you guys can see here on the screen, we're going to be talking about the tactics, how Barcelona will approach Inter Milan, and how Inter Milan is going to be approaching FC Barcelona. And we're going to go based off I would just say the quotes that Hansi Flick gave out during the pre-match press conference. So first of all, I want to talk about this report that came out according to Tony Juan Marti, and he stated that Hansi Flick is considering the idea of playing the same 11 against Inter Milan that was used in the Coppa Italia final versus Real Madrid. Now, this is a huge deal because we talked about how if we're going to be facing a team like Inter Milan, it is a team that is very physical and has very physical forwards. It has just been announced, according to the Inter Milan sources, that there is going to be a player named Thuram that will be available in this game. In the past 6 to 7 days, it was said that Thuram was not going to make it, but Thuram will make it to the 11. He is fit and he will play next to Lautaro Martinez. Now, what does that mean for FC Barcelona? It basically means that Barcelona has to be very careful in terms of their 1v1 defensive physical duels, because when Thuram has the ball, he can really retain the ball. He's really strong. If you guys want to see or have an idea on how Thuram likes to play when he has the ball, go look at his performance against Bayern Munich. He was a physical monster, very hard to stop. This one center back named Kim, I believe, had a very hard time taking down Thuram, and Kim is a very strong, high physical monster as well as a center back for Bayern. But to stop somebody like Thuram, it takes much more. And you combine that with the fact that Lautaro Martinez is also a physical monster, very similar to Sergio Aguero, right? He uses his lower center of gravity to retain the ball. It does make Inter Milan much more dangerous. Now, because of that, I do think that having somebody like Ronald Araujo makes much more sense to be starting in the 11 and in the back line. You need to have somebody like him. With Kubarsi, I understand that, he is world class. He just had a world class game against Real Madrid. Kubarsi was making those progressive passes. He was making those interceptions, the tackles, amazing. But that was Real Madrid, a team that does not contain nines or attackers that are like Sorlath or Harry Kane or somebody like Larin, right? So speaking about Larin does play for Mallorca, and the last time Araujo and Larin played against one another was about 5 to 6 days ago. So Barcelona and Mallorca met not too long ago, and one of the main reasons why Barcelona struggled against Mallorca was because Larin was causing a lot of chaos when he was trying to get the ball, and Ronald Araujo had a really good time tapping in on Larin because Larin is a physical monster, and you need somebody like Araujo to stop those type of players. Hence the reason why I think that Araujo should be starting in this game instead of Kubarsi. Or if anything, if you guys do not want to take out Kubarsi, because I know that Kubarsi has a lot of value to give, even I would even admit that Kubarsi is really hard to sit down on the bench, then I would really opt for a backline of Inigo Martinez on the left back position, Araujo and Kubarsi at the back, and Jules Koundé on the right back position, only because we have Thuram and Lautaro Martinez facing us. And I know that this is not the most attacking team in the world, but Inter Milan can really cause damage if they're not careful. Okay, the way that I see things playing out with Inter is Thuram or Lautaro Martinez are going to be holding the ball in the middle, and players like Dumfries or just say, for example, who else? Di Marco could be making those runs on the flanks. It's very dangerous. So this is what Hansi Flick had to say. Today we met and talked about what we need to change. They'll have 5 players in midfield and we'll have to protect the spaces. It's very important for us to keep possession and reduce errors, as well as being focused on defense. Then he stated, the Champions League is a huge opportunity for Inter Milan to win the title. It's something completely different, and past matches and recent defeats do not matter. I don't know. And then, so then he talked about what's his approach in the first leg, and he said, I don't know. That's not my job. I'm focused on my team. I don't know how Inter Milan are going to be approaching us, but we have the mentality to win the first leg and be at our best. So as you can see here, Hansi Flick has had a very clear idea on how Inter do play. They play with 5 total midfielders. And I don't know if you guys have seen, but it has been leaked on what Inter Milan are going to be placing on the field against us, right? So this is going to be a starting 11 that many have been discussing. So they're going to be having 3 men at the back, 5 men in the midfield, and 2 in the attack. So it's going to be Dumfries on the wings and Di Marco also there on the wings. They're going to be having Barea in the midfield, Bisek, another center back, Serbi, another center back, Bastoni, a very tough one to get through, also in the center back positions. And then you have Thuram and Lautaro Martinez. So it's a very difficult 11 to get through. Hence the reason why you guys see this formation that is led by Barcelona, and the formation that I think Inter Milan are going to be building when they do have to defend against us. It's going to be very tricky. Now, we're going to be forming a it's going to be like a 3-2-1-4 or something like that, right? So we're going to have a total of, we're going to have 3 here. So we have Jules Koundé here, we have Kobarsi in the middle, and we have Inigo Martinez at the back. 3 players. That's usually how we like to play, right here at the back. And then we have Gerard Martin. Let's just assume that we're going to go with Martin on the left back position. Martin here. We're going to be having Lamine Yamal here, number 19. We have Olmo, right, who is number 20 right here. 21, we have Frankie de Jong, and right here we have Pedri. Then we have Rafinha, and we have Ferran Torres here, and we have Lamine Yamal. Okay, so this is basically how we're going to set up against Inter when Inter have to defend against us, and that 5-man midfield turns into a 5-man defense. So they're going to be forming a 5-3-2, which is like insane to me now that I think about it, because that's 8 total players and 8 strong physical monsters that Barcelona will have to get through. So the way that I kind of like see this playing out is point number 1, right? Like if we want to defeat this defense and we have the duty to score as many goals as possible, because we need that. The first game is going to be played at home. Point number 1, stretch the defense as much as possible. You must do that. That is important because you already have 5 players at the back that Inter Milan are implementing. You might as well stretch it as much as you can, right? So like here we have Gerard Martin, and here we have who's this player? This is Dumfries, who's going to be taking the right back position when they go on and defend. So we have Gerard Martin here. So they have to be all the way pushed up over here. They have to do that. Right? Gerard Martin has to lead Dumfries all the way to the wings. Same thing with Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal must be here with Di Marco. Di Marco is going to be the main marker to Lamine Yamal. And so because of that, that's going to allow for spaces here, right? As you can see, my mouse here and here. And that's key. Now, here's the thing. This is the thing that gets very tricky, is if Lamine Yamal is going to be here, and we have Bastoni here, and we have number 22 here, how the hell do we get through there? And so I think that with Lautaro Martinez being here and Thuram being here, somebody has to get the ball away from Jules Koundé, right? Somebody has to. So I do think that this is where the key thing is going to be. Jules Koundé is going to have to step up a lot, okay? And it's going to be like a bait, which means that if Jules Koundé steps up with the ball, number 22 has no choice but to step up and go for Jules Koundé. He has to, right? You can't just stay here. It doesn't make any sense unless you want Koundé to get closer and closer, and that's not what Inter Milan want. So let's just say that Koundé ends up here with the ball, which is where we see him a lot most of the time. Number 22 is going to have to step up and go for the ball. This is where things are going to be very key, because if this is going to happen, right? If 22 is going to step up, Bastoni is going to have to step up as well to cover that open space, because it makes no sense for him to stay here. Number 22 like stepping up, and then you have all this space here, because now you have Olmo who can go here, Frankie who can go here and progress play. So Bastoni is going to have to come up here, and this is where, oh damn, yeah, and this is where it becomes key. I think you guys know exactly where I'm going to go with this. Bastoni is going to have to step up a little, leave open space behind him, and this is where Yamal can run through. You see how things play out now? This is where Yamal can run through. This is how you defeat a team like Inter Milan. You bait, right? You bait number 22 at first. leaving the open space. You bait Bastoni, who needs to step up a little. Obviously, he's a world-class center back. He's going to be well aware of the space that he leaves behind, but everything has to move fast, right? It's going to have to be like this. Boom, 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 and Kunde with those passes, right? Boom, like that. That is how you do it, right? And then you have to find those crosses, or whether Yamal can try and pass it to Olmo or Ferran, or maybe shoot it for himself. You find those open spaces. We have seen that time and time again in the Champions League, right? Yamal makes those runs. Jules Koundé makes those long passes to Yamal. Yamal receives. We've seen that time and time again. So that is one outlet, right? So we have 22 here, 24 here. Yamal there. That is one outlet. Another thing that could be very interesting is, okay, let's just say that we have Kubarsi with the ball, which is I think that is where the majority of the distribution is going to come from. Okay, cool, fine. If Kubarsi has the ball, fine. Screw it. We have Pedri here, Frankie here. They're going to have to be very tight, right? It has to be very important, because if Inter Milan is going to have 3 total midfielders when they're trying to defend, you might even have Born if Lautaro wants to sit back, which I don't think is going to happen. You need to overload the pitch. I mean, in the middle of the field. Crowd the midfield. Because you can already see that Lautaro Martinez, Thuram is here, and you have number 23 here, Barea, and then you have number 20 here, and you have number 22 here. Bro, the midfield is already super crowded, and Inter Milan have the numerical superiority here. They already do. That's just how it is. And that's what makes things very difficult. So I think that if we want to get through that, and Kubarsi needs to find a man, he can pass it here, pass it back, pass it here, pass it back, or whatever. I think that Frankie's going to have to come here, right? Let's say Kubarsi has the ball. Frankie's going to have to come here, occupy Lautaro Martinez, occupy Thuram here. I think that is very important for Kubarsi to find Olmo a lot, because we're going to have to find the spaces to attack through the middle, very similar to how what we were trying to do against Real Madrid. I think that Olmo is going to have to come down a little, bring number 20 here, find those one. It's going to be it's going to be super quick. You have to be quick. Hence the reason why Olmo's starting position is important. He's going to have to receive the ball here. Okay, so now we have the number 20 of Inter Milan already distracted, leaving spaces here. And this is where Ferran can come in, right? Ferran can come in here, drop deep a little bit. Now we're pushing number 15, the number center back here. Bastoni is going to have to close a little bit. And this is where you find the runs of either Lamine Yamal or Rafinha, right? Everything has to be, it's super tight. Like, notice how a lot of these things are super tight. So Dani Olmo receives the ball from Kubarsi, boom, right? Maybe those one-touch passes, those heel passes to Ferran, boom, because Olmo's really good at that. Hence the reason why we always see him with those like quick one-touch passes, and that's the reason why Rudiger was like always trying to body Dani Olmo, is because he did not even want to leave him with the one touch. But if you want to foul us, do it. Go ahead, it's fine. We win either way. So then Ferran receives the ball, and that is where it gets tricky for Inter Milan, because when Ferran has the ball, now Rafinha can run through here between the center backs. Yamal can run through here between the center backs, because he can lay those passes here, right? It's all about like small little progressions. It might not seem like the most ideal because of just how compact it is. It is ugly. Like, trust me, it is ugly. But that is how you get through it, right? It has to be those quick one-touch passes to get through the midfield, and you have to move some players to open up those spaces. So like, that's how it is. Like Kubarsi, Dani Olmo, boom, Ferran, and then you find those runs from either Yamal or Rafinha, and you make those passes here, or Ferran makes those passes there, right? Super interesting. So now we're gonna put these players back, right? We have Kubarsi here, we have Ferran here, we have Rafinha here, boom, boom, right? So it's just like, there you go, the 5-3-2 for Inter Milan. Now, one of the things that we must be careful of, okay, this is going to be another thing. is, let's just say that we lose the ball, because I think that we are gonna lose the ball. Like it's gonna happen. We don't play perfect games. I think Hansi Flick said something like, this is why he said, going back to the quotes, it's very important for us to keep possession and reduce errors, as well as being focused on defense. Because here's the thing: if we like, let's say Frankie, who's the most prone to losing the ball, if we pass the ball to Frankie, okay, and he loses the ball, and now we have Lautaro Martinez with the ball, and Frankie's out, and he's like, oh my god, and he's running with it, right? So we have Kobarsi and Kunde coming back, and Inigo Martinez is coming back, and Lautaro Martinez has the ball. Now it gets dangerous because automatically you have Thuram there. Now you have Thuram, okay? And the crazy thing about all this is that, okay, Lautaro Martinez has the ball. Number 23, okay, which is Barea, can run with them. Dumfries, who is a massive freaking headache, is going to be running with them as well. Now you're in a situation where you're kind of overloaded, because number 23 is going to be running, Dumfries is going to be running. Inigo Martinez has to make a decision on who to cover here. Is it going to be Dumfries, or is it going to be Barea? And if he chooses Barea, look what happens. If he chooses Barea, and Barea can bait Inigo Martinez, and Lautaro Martinez has the ball, look who's open. It's Thuram. Right? It's Thuram. Okay, so like, I just noticed that this is supposed to be Lautaro Martinez, this is supposed to be Thuram, but that's besides the point. Let's just say that, okay, this is Thuram, this is Lautaro Martinez. Thuram has the ball, and he passes it towards Lautaro Martinez. Look, he's open. And that's where things get very tricky. We cannot lose the ball in ridiculous areas like in the middle of the pitch, coming from Frankie de Jong especially. Pedri won't lose the ball. We know that. Frankie, he's prone to losing the ball. So we have to be very careful with that, right? Because if, like I said, look how this looks. These two strikers are going to be waiting to get the ball. If Frankie loses the ball, let's just say, for example, Kobarsi has the ball, right? And Frankie is coming here, right? He's trying to, oh my god, get away. Like Lautaro Martinez is here. He's trying to pressure Kobarsi. Frankie opens up here, and we're like, okay, great, right? We're making progression. Boom. And then number 20 steps up fast. Boom. Takes the ball away. Now number 20 has possession of the ball. Frankie is out, and he passes it towards Lautaro, right? Thuram makes those runs. Then we have Barea making those runs, and it gets freaking dangerous because now you have a 3 versus 2 here. I'm very focused about this. Thuram, Lautaro Martinez, and Barea, right? And that's a 3 versus 2 scenario, and Inigo Martinez is gonna have to make a decision. And if Kobarsi says, nah, okay, so Inigo here, and then Kobarsi's like, no, I gotta get Lautaro Martinez, it just leaves Thuram open. And now you have Kunde coming over here. Now he has to backtrack and try to go for him and this and that. But then you have Dumfries coming here, right? Because Dumfries is a fast player. He can run, boom, 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 boom. Thuram can wait, and they're trying to battle that out with the ball. Boom, 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 boom. Like that. Inigo Martinez. And then like Thuram can just lay like a pass like that. Boom, like that to Dumfries. Dumfries receives the ball and he shoots the ball, right? So you have to be very careful with those things. It's important for us to not lose the ball in the midfield. Frankie is the main one. Frankie cannot lose the ball. Okay, that can't happen. Now let's talk about one more thing. I want to also say that set pieces is also going to be key, right? Like corners, I've seen Inter Milan concede in corners, but with Bayern, so that's going to be key. And Barcelona is really good in set pieces. So corners, or making those like kicks into the, like let's just say we get fouled here, and Rafinha has to make that cross into the box. We can score those goals. It's very much possible, right? So let's put these two players back here. Let's put the number 20 here, 22. We're back to a 5-3-2 for Inter Milan, and we're back with Ferran Torres and Dani Olmo here. Pedri, Frankie. Okay. If I ever get it twisted, like if I go back and I find out that this is supposed to be Olmo and this is supposed to be Frankie, you guys know what I mean. Olmo here, Frankie here. So another thing that I think that Barcelona could do is to, why not just screw it? You know what? Let's just do that. We have a back two Okay, the only thing that Barcelona should be worried about is to defend Kubarsi and Turam. Now, this is the reason. Kubarsi and Turam. Is to defend Lautaro and Turam. Now, this is the reason why I want Araujo in this team. Okay, you guys can see now why, because Turam is here and Kubarsi is here. This is going to be a duel that we will see, and that's dangerous because Kubarsi has shown that he's not the best when it comes to defending those defensive physical number nines. It's just hard. Okay, like go look at Kubarsi versus Torlath. Go look at Kubarsi versus Kane. It happened before, back with Bayern in last year. It wasn't pretty. So I would just say screw it, bro. Like if we are that desperate and we really need goals, Martinez here, screw it. Koundé here, Yamal here, and then we have these players here. I should just say that we don't form a back three. We go for a back two. Everybody pushes up, and now we have Koundé here, Yamal here. So number 21, Di Marco is going to be in charge of Koundé. We're forcing these duels. Yamal here is going to be in these channels. 22, 20 here, 23 here, 23 here. Okay, here. And it should just be like that. Why not? And we just go for the one-on-one against Inter Milan, right? And we just use our quality to get through this defense, because now everybody's occupied here. Let's say that Kubarsi has the ball once again because he is the main and primary ball distributor. Lautaro Martinez cannot do anything here, even though he is not Lautaro Martinez, Thuram. Even though they are like really good at trying to intercept the ball, screw it, bro. Like that's how this is how it should be, like that. Very high risk, extremely high risk. I'm talking about like if we lose the ball, we will concede. But if we are really down, like let's just say it's 1-1 and there's like 5-10 minutes left to play or something crazy like that, and we need more goals because we know that we're going to go against Inter Milan at their home in the next game, this has to be it, right? So it's all about pulling the strings here. So we have Kubarsi with the ball, passes it towards, let's just say, Pedri. Pedri receives the ball. He has it here. 23 is there. Olmo. 25 has gonna have, no, not Olmo. Olmo's gonna stay here. Pedri receives the ball as the main ball distributor in the final third. We can have Rafinha check in slightly, moving. I think this is Bisek. Bisek a little. Pedri defeats his marker. He has the ball. He's running with it. He's pulling players in. And then, Rafinha comes here, tries to create a 1-2 scenario, but then leaving open space here. And Ferran Torres can just come there, like, and then boom, right? Boom. You can just do things like that. It's very interesting. Everything has to be quick, no matter what. And so that is it, right? Like how else do you expect to kind of defeat this 5-man defense or 8-man defense, whatever you guys want to call it? You can do so many things. Like if we do this, he can pass it to Pedri here, Rafinha, right? Rafinha can just come over here and pull 25 aside, and then create that open space for Ferran, and then Pedri makes that pass through here. Ferran runs there and he shoots the ball. Just do that. Just go based off outsmarting Inter Milan and leave trying to create those open spaces. All right, it's beautiful. We've done it before. We can do it again. But with Inter, it's a different monster, obviously. Hence the reason why they're in the semifinals of the Champions League. So that's basically it. That is what I do have for today. Bottom line, stretch the defense, crowd the midfield, punish them in transitions. Okay, use set pieces and stay tactically flexible to dismantle the 5-3-2. Right, and try to look for those 1v1 duels. Always. So that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Visca Barça.